My beautiful black queens, I have a question for y'all. Why is it that every time when a black man mentioned something negative about one particular black queen who resembles a type of negative behavior, that majority of all the black women or the black queen jump on the bandwagon thinking that that man is talking about them? That's what I want to find out. Okay. Now, what made me ask this question is that I had watched the rant that Stephen Jackson was talking about. Pretty much in the rant, he was saying this. He was pretty much discussing his choices that he made. Now, before I go into that, if y'all don't know who Stephen Jackson is, he's an NBA basketball player. I believe the last team he played for before we started dealing with this corona thing, I believe he was playing for the Bobcats. Don't quote me on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't keep up with basketball. Basketball really not my thing. But however, he is an NBA basketball player, and so he did do a rant, and he released this rant on social media. All right. So just like I say, in the rant, he was basically encouraging the younger black men to be in a monogamous relationship. Now, what do I mean by being in a monogamous relationship? What I mean is that when you're in a monogamous relationship, it means that you're in a relationship with one man and one woman, and that's it. Okay, which it potentially leads up to marriage, and y'all grow up together, y'all have children together, and all that. Okay, so that's what monogamous is talking about. So he was encouraging the young black men to be in a monogamous relationship, and the reason why he was saying that is because throughout his career of playing basketball, he slept with multiple women, and eventually these women, he ended up getting pregnant. And when he got them pregnant, of course, they ended up having children together. And I think in this rant, he mentioned that he had like about 5 or 6 different, as he say, baby mamas. Okay, so he said he had like 5 or 6 baby mamas, and he was saying that this particular lifestyle that he was dealing with, it was very difficult for him. Of course, he was ordered to pay child support for all his baby mamas. Then he also mentioned that a few of his baby mamas wasn't even allowing him to see his children, even though he had visitation on custody, visitation rights over them. Too as well, you know what I'm saying? So he was saying that it was very difficult, it was very challenging. It challenged him financially, mentally as well, you know what I'm saying? So he was encouraging the younger black men to not follow in his same steps. In other words, you know what I'm saying, to choose wisely who you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be with that one person, be with that one person, okay? You know what I'm saying? Now, the only thing about being with this one person that he's talking about being monogamous is that being with one person, I believe that's everyone's goal in life, you know what I'm saying, is to be with just that one person, you know what I'm saying? And it actually happened that way. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it happens that way. A man and a woman, they end up getting married, they end up having children together, you know what I'm saying, that things be cool. But also, life kicks in, and sometimes things changes. Within changes, sometimes people change, and that person that you be with will change, and it will cause behavior changes. Then it'll cause things, you'll see things that becomes a deal breaker, which ultimately cause people to be in the divorce. So this is the only line that I would say I would disagree with Stephen on that, is because sometimes life changes where, you know what I'm saying, you won't be in that long-term relationship where you marry and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It happens, and things is not like how it was back in, the older days, how it is now. Because in these days now, unfortunately, a lot of people have this mentality thinking that there's better opportunities out there, you know what I'm saying? So they have this mentality like, hey, I could always upgrade at any given time, and they think that way too, that they could upgrade any given time. And so they always be keeping their eyes open about that and stuff too, you know what I'm saying? Another thing too is that sometimes too, people end into these relationships and they end up getting married, but they end up getting married to the wrong person. That person may be a narcissist. That person may be abusive, and they didn't know it at first, but they end up getting married to that person, and now they in an abusive relationship. And this goes for men and women as well. You know what I'm saying? Because both genders can be abusive. Okay, so that's the line that I draw with that particular thing too. So I do agree with Steph when he was talking about, hey, choosing wisely, you know, find out about and choosing wisely. And when you do, stick with that person. I do agree with that part too. Now, in his rant, he said something, too that I want to share with y'all too. He said the quickest way, of the demise of a black man is a bitter baby mama. Now, when Stephen Jackson said this, I had looked at the comments after I seen his video, and a lot of black women was getting on there, disagreeing them and talking about, well, you can't say that black woman, it's the demise of a black man. You know what I'm saying? It's the some women. It does this and that and that and that. And this draws me back to my original question of when I'm asking. Why is it that every single time a black man mentions something negative about a certain black woman behavior, why do every woman think that it pertains to them? When they mention something about that, they're not talking about every black woman in the world, okay? They're only talking about that one particular black woman who resembles that type of behavior. If that woman resembles that type of behavior, then yes, he's talking about you, okay? If you don't resemble that behavior, then he's not talking about you. Another case in point, it didn't kind of pass by and kind of died down a little bit now, you know what I'm saying, since everybody now focused on this corona thing now. But when Snoop did his rebuttal with Gayle King, right? A lot of women thought that Snoop was calling every woman in the world a B. He wasn't talking to every woman in the world. He was only talking to Gayle King only. And then when he was talking to her, he was talking about her behavior, okay? So I had did a previous rant about this and stuff. So if you want to check on the rant, you could go on my official Urban Therapist page and check out the rant that I did about this too, talking about this behavior, okay? But once again, why is it that every woman think that when a black man says something negative about a certain black woman behavior, not all of them, but a certain black woman behavior, why do every black woman take offense to that, thinking that man is talking about them? My queens, they're not talking about you. If it doesn't pertain to you, if you don't resemble that type of behavior, then they're not talking about you. Even in this rant right now, and I'm pretty sure, even in this rant right now, that certain black women, they're gonna take offense to it, talking about, well, it's not all black women, blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. It is not every black woman. No, it's not. If it's talking to you in particular, then yeah, it's talking about you in particular. Period. You know what I'm saying? Another case in point is this: is that I had did another rant too. I did one of my old rants. I did an old rant addressing about the attitudes of a black woman, right? And so just by that title alone, I had a whole lot of black women comment on my video, on my rant, separate to my, oh, you just misogynistic and stuff. You just attacking every black woman and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't like black women. You hate black women. Saying all kind of silly stuff. Once again, I wasn't talking about you. If you don't fit in that category, resembling that type of behavior that I was talking about, then it's not pertaining to you, queen, at all, period. Okay? Same thing with the situation with Stephen Jackson. When he's talking about that, the way of a black man being been demised is by a bitter baby mama. He's talking about that bitter baby mama, and that's it. He's not talking about you. He's not talking about nobody else, only that bitter baby mama. So if you fit into that bitter baby mama category, he's talking about you. All right. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Think about his video. I'm also gonna want to post this video on my official Urban Therapist page. Y'all could check out the full his full rant, and just let me know what you think about that, and let me know what you think about this video as well. So that's the end. This Stephen Jackson. I do agree with everything that you're saying about that too. Okay, and it's just time for us, just men and women. It's time for us to start addressing these issues, these behavior that we deal with on an everyday basis. And it's time for us to mention about this thing. And it's time for us to address it and have good dialogue about it, so we can start healing from this. Okay, y'all fight faith with faith.